Hello everyone, my name is Hubwood and today I wanted to give you a quick review about the brand new Acer Nitro 5 laptop that comes with a new mid-range Turing GPU from NVIDIA, the GTX 1650, and also an i5 9300H. So the version I've tested has a total of 8GB of RAM, which is still enough for most games, but more and more titles prefer to use 12GB or more, and since there are already 2 sticks installed in this version, upgrading is a bit more expensive and problematic as you need to acquire 2 sticks. So depending on what you play, you might want to get a version with 16GB. It's also equipped with a super fast 500GB M2 SSD that delivers up to 1500 megabytes of reading and 1350 megabytes per second of writing speed, which is very fast. And it's delivered with an HD adapter by Acer that lets you upgrade it with another regular SSD or HDD afterwards, which is pretty cool, while also you have a free M2 SSD slot as well on the main board, which is super cool. The i5 9300H CPU that comes with this laptop is basically the slowest Intel CPU you can get in combination with this GPU. But it's not bad at all because it has an all-core turbo of 4 GHz and also 8 threads, which makes it very enjoyable for newer multi-core performing titles like Assassin's Creed Origins or Odyssey, or let's say The Witcher 3, GTA 5, etc. As this piece here is the so-called entry level in mid-range gaming laptops, you will need to accept some flaws here and there as well, of course. But what really stood out in a negative way for me is the loudness it has under load. The CPU gets very warm with around 88 to 95 degrees Celsius, which is too hot. Well, I consider it too hot even for a cheaper gaming laptop. And strangely, undervolting had absolutely no effect in this case, and I don't know why. Maybe Acer tries to prevent users from doing it, I don't know. On my older Acer VX15 I was able to reduce the temperatures by 10 to 15 degrees by undervolting. Didn't work here. In terms of keyboard and touchpad, we're getting some solid hardware for this laptop, nothing too special, but pretty okay in my opinion. The keyboard we have seems very firm. It's illuminated with the possibility of changing the brightness and writing longer documents. It works just fine and is a lot of fun. The trackpad seems okay in my opinion. It's firm, reacts good, and size and position are okay for me. But I use a mouse whenever I can, whenever possible anyway, so I personally don't really care that much about touchpads. Now the Full HD 60Hz IPS display is very thin and easy to open and close, but I wished it was a bit brighter overall. It's also a bit bendable, so you might need to take care when using it on the go. So connection wise, this laptop is pretty basic. We have on the left side we have 2 USB 3 ports, a USB-C port, standard HDMI port, a LAN, and on the other side we only have another USB 2, I think it's 2 because it's not the blue one, a USB 2 connection for the mouse and 3.5mm audio, and we also plug in the PSU like in the middle of the side, which I don't really like, as it will probably get a bit like we might run into space problems when using the mouse on this side. I just don't like this a lot. Now the battery time according to Acer is around 7 hours, while that will be reduced while gaming to around 1.5 hours. And of course the 7 hours they advertise, usually it's a bit less if you use the laptop in a regular way. The sound from the bottom speakers, they are at the front, left and right over here. It's kind of mediocre. I mean, it's not super bad, but just don't expect anything special. And I'm guessing that most of you guys will use a headset with this kind of laptop when gaming or watching movies anyway. Now the gaming performance of this GPU and CPU combination will place this laptop right around between the GTX 1050 Ti and the GTX 1060 from the last generation, which is equivalent to the desktop versions of those cards and right around what was predicted and expected. You will get around 60 FPS on high or very high settings for most games out there, and the i5's 8 threads, they really pay off in games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The big problem I have with that is that the current price tag for this Europe, at least over here in Germany and Europe, you can get laptops with an i7 and a GTX 1060 for less money than this laptop, which offers noticeably better performance. So you should probably wait for better deals and price reductions for the new Acer Nitro 5. This might be different in the US or the rest of the world though. So you might want to compare prices before buying a brand new Nitro 5. My quick conclusion for this laptop is that it's a solid laptop, but at least right now I think it's too pricey for what you get, and I also consider it a bit too loud under load. If you liked this video, thumbs up or a subscription would be highly appreciated. See you next time, thank you, bye bye.